Today and Across the Fence, it's the first Thursday of the month and time for another new edition of In the Kitchen with Across the Fence. Our theme today is harvest recipes. And don't all those pumpkins make you think of fall and Halloween? Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. It's my pleasure to be joined by our guest chefs, Carolyn Peak from Williamstown, and from South Hero, Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis, of course. They've each cooked up some great harvest recipes and they have something special planned for you later in the program. But let's begin by announcing the winners of last month's free drawing for the Apple cookbooks. From all of the envelopes received, the two winning entries were drawn by Ron and Cecilia Hackett, proprietors of Hackett's Orchard in South Hero, and we thank them for that. And the two lucky viewers who will be receiving their cookbooks by mail any day now are Jeanette Barbeau from St. Albans and Joyce Root from Waterford. Our congratulations to both Georgette and Joyce, and our best wishes for happy cooking. Now this month, one of you lucky viewers will win this cookbook, Recipes from the Heart. It contains more than 200 recipes that range from appetizers to breads to desserts. I'll let you know how to enter this month's free drawing at the end of the program. We have a variety of harvest recipes today, and Deb, you're going to get things started.
Well, yes, and naturally fall is my favorite time of the year.
Thank you.
The recipes we're sharing today take advantage of all the wonderful fruits and vegetables that are in season. And I want to start with the Southwest winter squash chowder. And I'm just going to tilt it up a little bit here so you can see what a beautiful golden rich color this is. You start by sauteing onions and sweet and hot peppers in vegetable oil until translucent. And then you add plenty of diced potatoes and squash, chicken broth. You add some little bit of flour to make a roux and some seasonings and cook that until soft. I then pureed it, added some corn, some light cream, and shredded cheddar cheese, and just heated that gently. Just the perfect thing to warm you on a cool fall day. Now, along with soup, you have to have bread. And this beautiful pear cheddar bread comes to us from Heidi Chamberlain of South Hero. It's a very fragrant and flavorful bread. Now, not only did Heidi share her recipe with us, she baked this loaf to share with us today. So a big thank you to Heidi for this. This bread is great with the flavors of the pear and the cheddar cheese. It's best served warm, but it's just the perfect thing to complement a bowl of soup on a cool fall day. Now, pumpkins make excellent pies and desserts. You can fill your house with the happy aroma, and I'll just hold this up here, of this harvest loaf cake. This recipe comes from Celia Hackett of South Hero, so I grew up with this cake, and it's one of our favorites. The rich pumpkin batter is flavored with cloves, cinnamon, and ginger. Add some mini chocolate chips, or I use some mini cinnamon chips, and it just smells wonderful baking. And then you can top it with a confectionery sugar glaze. Your house just smells great while this is cooking. So I hope my family's favorite will become your family's favorite. Now, pumpkins are not just for dessert, as this viewer recipe from Carol Partington of Northfield sends in. It's her family's favorite, and it's a pumpkin ham casserole. Onions are sautéed along with chunks of ham and diced pumpkin, and you add some spices. It takes from start to finish less than 20 minutes, so it's a perfect thing to have on a fall day or maybe even for a fall brunch. And I want to thank Carol for sending in this viewer recipe. I'm sure you're going to want to try this at home. Now, Carolyn, I know the viewers can't smell all the aromas at home, but man, looks like you've got some great recipes to share.
Oh, the house smelled fantastic while I was cooking.
Well, it smells wonderful here. I'm really getting an appetite.
Well, I looked through my cookbooks and through some of my favorite things, and I found some very good harvest recipes. My first one that I'm doing is just an old standby, and I'm sure all of you have your own ways of doing this, but it's a good old shepherd's pie. This one is made in such a way that you could put it into two pans, put one in the freezer, and put the other one, serve the other one right when your family is hungry. I'm going to grab my plate here. It has lots of carrots and peas and corn, Hamburg, gravy, and you could serve that, and everybody is going to be happy with that one. To go along with it, another main dish thing is my impossibly easy chicken broccoli pie. And it's just a pie. It's not, you don't even need a pie crust. You put your broccoli and some cheese and eggs and milk mixed up, your chicken into the pie plate, pour this mixture over the chicken and the broccoli, and bake it. And you have a really good thing to serve. You might want to try it for breakfast even, but it's, you know, anytime, any meal of the day, or even just a snack later on. Over here, and I'm going to bring this over this way so the camera can see it good. These are sweet potato muffins, and they are really good. There's a nice streusel on top, but you've got mashed up sweet potato in them, and it's a really nice way to, if you've got a few extra potatoes, it's a nice way to use them up. I think this would be great with, you know, a cup of tea or with a bowl of soup, something like that. Maybe we could use some of the soups that we see over on this side and put a muffin with them. My next recipe, when I saw it, I couldn't believe it, and I had to try it. Right down here in front, these are baked carrot donuts. And by baked, I mean not the carrots have been baked, but the donuts themselves are baked. You puree the carrots. You have about a cup of the carrot puree into it. They are a raised donut, so it takes a little longer, but you've got plenty of time to do other things while the first rising, like any bread, and then the second rising once you've cut them out. And let me tell you, it is well worth trying. They are so good, and I've already even gotten some rave reviews from the folks here at the station that have tried them too. My last one is my viewer recipe, and it comes from Clarice Bilodeau from Middlebury, and she says it's a family favorite this time of year. It's a pumpkin cheesecake pie, and again, I've got a piece out here already cut, and it is very easy to make. You start out with a graham cracker crust, and then it's just cream cheese and some pumpkin, eggs, you know, the usual things for a cream pie like this. And it is very, very good. So it's something that's worth trying. And you might want to, if you buy the crust, get the larger one, because the amount of the pie is a lot. It will fill them completely. So.
This is the one that smells so good.
Yes.
I love it.
Actually, both of these did when they were cooking.
How was the judging done at Tunbridge?
Very good.
I thought you might bring one of those recipes.
You know, they don't give the recipes with the stuff. I wish they did, because there's so many good cooks down that way.
Okay, well, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Thank you, Carolyn. Well, I'm going to begin with a recipe that I adapted when I was down at the Eastern States Exposition in West Springfield, Massachusetts. I was there on September 20, which is Vermont Day, and they broke an all-time attendance record that day. 170,612 paid attendees. I've never seen so many folks in one place at one time, but it was a lot of fun. And now this is a picture of me taken the night before when it was far less crowded. It was a chilly night, as you can see, and I'm enjoying a pulled pork stuffed corn cake, and I'm going to show you how to make that right here. You start by taking a cornmeal muffin and breaking it up in your dish like you see here. Then over that you put your pulled pork, and in the handout there's a recipe that I've got that is in the crock pot, so it's very easy to make. So once that's over the cornmeal muffin, you kind of mix it in. Then comes, believe it or not, some coleslaw. So you just put that over it, mix it up a little bit, and finally top it off with some barbecue sauce. And if it gets a little chilly or cold during all this, put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and it is the most wonderful meal. And I wish all of you viewers are here to sample this along with me. There's certainly enough for 2 or 3 of us right in here. Well, my viewer recipe comes from Edie Ackerman, and she lives in Fairleigh, Vermont. And Edie, this is super delicious. I've never had such a wonderful soup. It's her cheesy vegetable soup. And as you can see, there's celery in here, onion, carrots, potato, and chopped ham. The liquid is water and evaporated milk, and it's all flavored with Velveeta cheese that creates a richness of flavor that is absolutely delicious. This soup is addictive, and with the cooler days coming on, you and your family are going to love this cheesy vegetable soup, and thanks, Edie, for sending that in. Now, to go with our soup, I have a bread, and I'm going to put that up here so you can see it. It's a spiced peach carrot bread, and it was a prize winner at the South Carolina Peach Off. It's one of their big baking competitions down there. Now, along with the peaches and the there's pecans in here, and then there's the carrots that you shred. You put some cinnamon and nutmeg in to give it some flavor. And the peaches that I've been buying lately are just delicious, so this is a perfect time of year to make this bread and have a prize winner from the contest down there in South Carolina. Now, I have a recipe here that's a little bit different, a little bit unusual, and it's a grape pie that's made with just 5 ingredients. Now, I used to make grape pies with Concord grapes, and it took forever and ever to get those seeds out, and then you usually find 2 or 3 in the piece of pie that you were eating. But this, I use these nice little grapes. They are the dark sweet grapes that you can buy in the grocery store that are seedless, and it saves so much time, and it tastes just as good to me. So what you do is take the grapes and cook them up till they get kind of mushy. Then you put in some sugar and flour and pour that mixture right into the crust, and you can see what a nice looking pie this is. Pour it right into the crust, bake it for about an hour till it sets, but be sure to put a pan under this pie because you're going to get some drippings, there's no doubt about that. Now, my last recipe comes from the cookbook that one of you lucky viewers are going to win, and Judy's going to tell you how to get that in just a minute now. And it's for a beef and broccoli stir fry. Now let me pull this up so you can see it. Very easy to make. First you cook your beef in a skillet along with ginger root and garlic, and then when that's done, take the beef out and set it aside, and then you cook up some onion, broccoli, and sliced carrots. And when that's done, mix everything together and let the flavors mix together. And I love to serve this over rice. You could do it over mashed potato, or it's just perfect the way it is. So Judy, somebody is going to win this very nice cookbook.
Yeah, we should mention that it's just one of more than 200 tasty recipes from that cookbook that somebody's going to win for the free drawing. Now we're going to ask Deb and Carolyn to rejoin us as our chefs have something special planned for us. So let's hear about that.
Yes, my brother who lives in Los Angeles challenged me to do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. You know that's where you get the ice water.
I've been there.
Okay. Well, that's to raise money to fight Lou Gehrig's disease, which is a very difficult disease to deal with. And I challenged Deb and Carolyn. They've both agreed to do it. So we'll be going outside in just a minute to do that. But I wanted to say that I'm going to do this in memory of my cousin Walter Tink Williams of Prue, Vermont, who died of ALS back in 2002. And Deb, who are you?
Well, I'm accepting the challenge on the behalf of the 30,000 Americans affected by ALS and their families.
Great.
And I'm doing it in memory of Ray Potter from Plainfield.
Excellent. Okay, so you're all going to be going outside with your ice buckets while I tell viewers how to get today's harvest recipes and how to enter our free drawing for the cookbook. To get the recipes online, go to uvm.edu/extension and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the web page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped, self-addressed business-size envelope to Harvest Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont, 05486. Please remember, if you you are ordering the recipes to include $2 and a stamped self-addressed envelope. Your envelope will be used to enter you in the free cookbook drawing. If you're not ordering the recipes, you can still enter the free drawing by sending your name and address to the South Hero address that's listed on your screen. Well, good luck to everyone who enters the drawing, and we want you to know that in our next In the Kitchen segment, it'll be November 6th, and our theme will be comfort foods. Now our ALS Ice Bucket Challenge team is outside and joined by Tony Adams, longtime WCAX sports director and Across the Fence host. To date, the Ice Bucket Challenge has raised more than $100 million to help find a cure for ALS. Please consider supporting this worthwhile cause.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
You live with it, you know, for 3 years, and that's not easy, especially with someone you love dearly. But that's life, I guess.